Hello everyone, welcome to this part 21. So like I told you in the last episode, we're gonna manage to do the profile section of this application. So right now we can fetch everything, and now when I restarting the app, what happened, it's we have the placeholder. This is what we have done in the past video, so this thing here. But as you can see now we have this 5,000 millisecond who did that really slow. So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna start to go in the server and we're gonna just change this 5,000 for 0. You can also remove it if you want, just to make the app refreshing faster. So it should be faster, yeah. So now we're gonna do the profile page. So as you know, the profile page is gonna be like, we're gonna have like here, headers. And also here we're gonna have like the same feed car we use here. So you're gonna see, oh, we can reuse some components. It's gonna be pretty simple. So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna start with the profile screen here, and we're gonna just change some stuff here in the root. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna just say flex 1 and a background color of F1, F6, FA. So kind of a grayish colors. Nothing too much crazy for here. So now you're gonna see nothing crazy. Oops. Sorry, I put a comma because it's like CSS. We need to put semicolon right there. Remember that. Style component, make it like as a CSS. Perfect. Now we have grayish color. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna create another component called profile headers inside the component folder. This one's gonna be a plain function for React. So we're gonna say export default function profile headers like that, and this one's gonna have some values. It's gonna be kind of easy to make. It's gonna be just like a plain rectangle. So first thing, I'm gonna just import style really quick, and I'm gonna say const root equal style.view, just for having something to pop here. Perfect. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna import this component right inside my profile screen. So I'm gonna say import profile headers coming in from my component folder and my profile headers right there. And now I'm gonna take this thing and I'm gonna say profile headers like that. So now how we're gonna start here is gonna be, we're gonna start with kind of plain CSS. Finally, what we want is this thing to take some amount of the screen and take the full width, but having like kind of a height. So for that, we're gonna use a height of 140. Also, we're gonna say align self stretch, just to let the flex box to take the full space in the width. After that, we're gonna say padding top, we're gonna say 50. Oops. And I'm gonna put a background colors equal to my theme color white, like that. Here. Sorry. So now we're gonna have this. So now if I'm refreshing, you're gonna see what I mean just by doing this thing. First thing, I'm sorry with my loader is really slow. My JavaScript bundle, I don't know why. About the simulator, if you didn't see the simulator before, it's just because I have the last version of Xcode number 9. So this is the new simulator. So now you see that take the 140 of the space. After that here, what I want is I want to have my avatar here and some value here. So one of the things I'm gonna do, it's I'm gonna do this in 2 parts. So first thing I'm gonna say here, first thing I'm gonna do Command Z just to get back my root. Perfect. I'm gonna say const heading. It's gonna be a style.view. And now this heading right there is gonna have a flex of 1. Also, we're gonna have a flex direction of row. We want everything to go from the left to the right, not in column from the top to the bottom. After that, we want everything to have an align item center. So we want everything to be at the center. Now remember, when it's column, the center, align item center, is gonna be the center from here, like right there. After that, if I say justify content center, I'm gonna be right there. Now because it's in row, when I say align item center, I'm saying right there. And now if I say justify content center, I'm gonna be there. But if we don't gonna say justify content center, we're gonna just say justify content flex start. I know some of you are gonna say yes, but you don't need to do this because by default it's flex start, but just to make sure and for letting other developer to know. After that, we're gonna have a padding left of 15 and we're gonna have a padding top of 5. And after that, I'm gonna put a background color of red just to make it easier to read right there. Like this. So now this heading, what it's gonna have, the first thing is gonna receive an avatar. So here we're gonna create an avatar. Just because I don't have the avatar yet, how I'm gonna style this thing is I'm gonna just use a view because an image it's a plain view too. So and I'm gonna just say height of 60, width of 60, and because I want that to be as a circle, I need to have a border radius here. But the thing is here, if I want to change the size of this, I'm gonna need to change both sides because it's a circle. So now what I can say is here, const avatar size. Sorry, I really don't know what happened today. I don't know how to type. And now I can just pass this value right there by doing curly bracket avatar like that, $sign curly bracket, and border radius is gonna be this value. So now I can put this right there. And I'm gonna put a background color of, I think yellow is gonna be good. So now if I'm refreshing my screen, now you do this, you see right there. So here it's the full headers, but now I have this value right here. So now what I can do is I want also to have my full name, like my first name, my last name, etc., and my username. Sorry. So now the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a username container. So this is where I'm gonna put all the stuff about the user name. So where I'm gonna have the full name, etc. So here I'm gonna say const username container equal style the view, and this thing right there is gonna have a flex of 1 and also a padding left of 10 because I don't want to be next to it. I want to have some space between this and me. After that, I'm gonna say background color, I'm gonna say blue, and I'm gonna put this username container right there. And now I hope then you understand then, because we give this a flex 1 and this is in a row, like this thing it's in a row. If you understand now how flexbox work, you're gonna understand that now you're gonna take okay, because I didn't put align self stretch. If I do this, you're gonna see that now you take the full other space. So keep in mind all that. So the avatar right there take his space, and when we say flex 1, we just say finally let the place to the avatar, let him do whatever you want, but keep all the rest for you. And now you may be asked, okay, yeah, but avatar here, this left thing, it's this thing came because the heading right there we have padding left of 15, so we push up. So finally we just say, hey, I don't want to have nothing would touch the screen right there, so I'm gonna just push up everything inside. Remember that in React Native the padding go inside. So now we're gonna put the full name here. So how we're gonna do this, it's now we're gonna need to have some text here. So we're gonna design the text. Sorry, I'm really sick today, so we're gonna say full name equals style that text. So here we're gonna have some text. So I'm gonna say right there full name. And because, as you know, I like to have some variable, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say const full name equal, and I'm gonna say mine. So now it's gonna be easier for me to just put the value here. After that, here I'm gonna have also the username. I'm gonna say username. We're gonna create that, don't worry. And I'm gonna say this username, and I'm gonna create a variable here. oops, I'm gonna say username, and I'm gonna say EQuimper. And now I'm gonna create the same variable username. If you don't know how I did this kind of thing, it's Shift Command D. So I copy, paste the same kind of stuff at the bottom. So now if I click here, I get Emmanuel Quimper and EQuimper here. But we cannot keep this kind of design here. So we're gonna say color equal to the props that theme, that secondary. After that, we're gonna have a font weight of bold, and also we're gonna have a font size of 18. After that, for the username, we're gonna have the same color, but we're gonna have a font size of 15, so we want it to be smaller, and also we want to have less opacity, so 0.8 is gonna be perfect. So now I can maybe remove some colors, so maybe this blue and this red, just to see how that goes. If I click here, you see, now that's pretty much like how I want it, like top and bottom. But now it looks really weird. I mean, what is this thing? I mean, it's at the bottom when we have nothing. So that's why we're gonna create a meta container just below. So remember the heading right there now, the heading is parent is the root, and root don't have a flex direction row. So by default, it's colon. So now if I say const meta container, right there, and this one I say flex of 0.8, and now because my heading was 1, what happened? It's you're gonna take the smaller one at first, so 0.8. So if it was both 1, we're gonna get 50%, 50% for each of them. And now because it's that, the bottom's gonna get 80% of the 50% it should have get. So here. So now, and this one's gonna have a flex direction of row, and I'm gonna put a background color of red just to make it easier to read. So now I'm gonna put this thing, and I'm gonna do right there. And after that, we're gonna have some stuff, like we're gonna have like here some meta box right there. So I think we're gonna have 2 meta box where we're gonna show the number of tweets and the number of likes. So we're gonna have 1 box here and 1 box here. So I'm gonna create this meta box. It's gonna be pretty simple. Meta box equals style.view. And this one finally is gonna be flex one. So because we're gonna have 2 meta box, you're gonna take 50% of each side of the meta container, who is parent. After that, I'm gonna say justify contain center, and also align item center. So what that means, it's the box, we're gonna keep everything in the middle of each of them. And I'm gonna set background color of maybe pink. So now I'm gonna have 2 meta box. So 1 here and 1 here, like that. After that, we're gonna have another text, and I'm gonna call that meta text. And you're gonna see, I'm gonna just keep it like that for now, and I'm gonna just say meta text here. I'm gonna say example 3, 3 tweet, and I'm gonna say the same, but for the like that. Now I just gonna keep this like this just to let you know how that go. So now, as you can see, so meta container, we don't see the red because this thing take the 50%, but now we see this is all that go now. It's this thing's gonna go at the bottom right there. So now if I remove some colors, right there, 3 tweet and 3 like. But now it's not a good text. First thing, it's not a good like design here, so we're gonna change it really quick. Color is gonna be equal to this kind of color right there. After that, I'm gonna say font size of 16, and I'm also gonna say font weight of 600. So now we're gonna look at how the thing looks. Like that, 3 tweet and 3 like. But the thing is, I would like to have my number having the same blue of this thing. So all we can do this, it's gonna be really easy. We're gonna say meta number, text number, maybe it's gonna be easier to read, equal another style that text, and now this one's gonna be finally color this thing, but now that's gonna be primary for the blue. And now how we can do this is gonna be really easy. We just need to wrap finally the number with that. That's it. So by doing this now, so you can have more than one text. Finally, you can have another text inside another text. And the thing will get wrapped here, gonna get the color, but with the same font size and everything. But the tweet's gonna have the meta text. And now if I go there, you see I got 3 tweet and 3 like right there. Perfect, we did one of the piece of what we need. Now what we're gonna do is we want to get the real value from here. So how we're gonna do this, it's finally we're gonna jump on the profile screen right there. And inside the profile screen, what we're gonna do, is we're gonna connect with Redux. Because I want to get the data from my user state. So here I'm gonna do a map state to props. Well, I'm gonna say finally, give me info, who's gonna be equal to state.user.info. That's it. Here after that, I'm gonna say const info equal this.props. So I'm gonna destructuring this, and now I'm gonna spread my info. So by doing this now, my info, as you know, inside the me here, I'm gonna get username, first name, last name, and avatar. So now what I can do, it's now here, I'm gonna have the first name. After that, I'm gonna have last name. I'm gonna receive my avatar, and I'm gonna also receive my username. So now I can remove username. After that, full name is gonna be equal to first name space last name. So I'm gonna just go here for now. And now if I do this, now look what's gonna happen. So remember, because we spread the props here, we don't need to say like props dot. You see now, Jon Snow. So that was my user. I'm Jon Snow right now with this avatar. So now I can change avatar. So how I'm gonna do this? It's an image. So we just finally to change that to an image. This is what I mean. So you go there. You're gonna change the avatar here to be an image. That image. You're gonna change after that source and say URI avatar. And now if I do this, because I didn't do an upload image, you're gonna get my face as an avatar right there. Right there. Perfect. So now we did one of the things. We get the headers for the tweet, the profile. But what we want to is to get the user tweets. So now how we can manage that is by doing another query where we can get the user tweet. So first thing we're gonna do is I'm gonna create another query called get user tweets. After that, this one is gonna be kind of simple too. It's gonna be almost like the other one. So GQL from react-appolo. We're gonna export default this query. But now you may be asked, yeah, but how are we gonna get that? If you remember, inside the resolver, inside the tweet resolver, we did get user tweet. And finally, this resolver right there in the server, finally just return the tweet who have the user.id as the user. And it's gonna be sorted by the most recent one. So they're gonna have the same value as other one. So here we're gonna say get user tweet. Right there. So what we need for that, it's gonna be almost like the get tweet. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna copy paste this thing. So go to inside the get tweet and take that. So we need the text, we need the ID, create app, is favorite, and favorite con all need. Favorite con, it's for showing how many favorite, is favorite if you have favorite your own tweet. username, avatar, last name, and first name. We all need that. Now you may be asked, yeah, but why you don't use the other one, or why don't create a fragment? I can create a fragment, and I'm gonna show you that in another episode. It's because now I wanted to keep it simple. If you don't know what is a fragment, it's just awesome. So that's why I'm gonna show you that. I learned that like kind of I think 3 weeks ago. So now how we're gonna manage this thing to make this get query first here. So first thing we're gonna import this get user tweet query from GraphQL query get user tweet. After that, we're gonna need two things from Apollo because we use the connect. So we're gonna say here GraphQL and compose from GraphQL Apollo, react-appolo, sorry. And now what are we gonna do? It's here, I'm gonna say compose. Try to make it easier to read. Like that, compose. And now what we're gonna do, it's here. I'm gonna say GraphQL get, I'm gonna copy paste that. Like this, get user tweet. After that, so here that's gonna do a fetch with the get user tweet. After that, here we're gonna receive this thing inside a variable called data. And now here I'm gonna have the data. So how we're gonna do this? It's I'm gonna open my debugger, cd mobile, here on debug. And now what I'm gonna show you, first thing I'm gonna just console log this.props. I want you to see what we're gonna receive. Debug GS remotely. Sorry, I need to drink some water. I'm really sick now. Okay, so now if I click on profile, what happened? Oh yeah, I know. We need to pass the GraphQL first before the connect right there. Now I think should be good. Okay, now you see this is the data right there. So we're gonna get this that props that data that get user tweet right there. So now we have all the tweet of the user, and also, as you know, we have data and we can have the loading too. So now we want to use the same feed car as we use in the last one. Sorry about that. So how we're gonna do this? We're gonna first thing import at the top from React Native the flat list, the famous flat list. After that, what are we gonna do? We're gonna import. I'm gonna do Shift Command D here. Sorry. I'm gonna say feed car like that. So I'm gonna import a feed car. So I think it's feed car. And now, as you know, as you remember, the feed car is gonna be this thing right there. This feed car right there. So it's gonna be almost the same thing as what we done in the other screen. So we're gonna create a render item. We finally here gonna receive the item, and we're gonna show the feed car with the dot item. That's it. After that, we're gonna have a render placeholder. So we're gonna show the placeholder like we did on the other screen in the last episode. Where here finally what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just say feed car. I'm gonna call this thing placeholder. I'm gonna say key equal to item. You're gonna see in a moment. And here I'm gonna say is load equal to this that props that data that get user tweet dot loading. So this value right there. So this that props that data, and I don't even need this thing like that. So now here what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have my I'm gonna do here a request. So here I'm gonna take my data. I'm gonna say if data that loading. So if it's low, I want this. If it's not, I want that. But the thing is, I want my profile headers to be there. After that, I want to remove this. And now here, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have my flat list. So when it's loading, what we're gonna do is we're gonna say data is gonna be an array of 1, 2, and 3, just to get 3 fake items. That's why we say a key item, but you're gonna see I can remove the key here, and I can just say render item. This is that render placeholder, and now key extractor equal item item. So that's gonna be 1, 2, and 3. No need to have the key. After that, I'm gonna say container style, and I'm gonna just say align self stretch, just to take the full piece of the code. After that, I'm gonna copy paste this flat list, and now I'm gonna paste it there. But now the data here is gonna change. It's gonna came from the this.props that data. Maybe just we don't need to say this.prop because we have the structuring here. So data dot get user tweet. So that's gonna be this value. Get user tweet, so the array, and the key instructor gonna be underscore ID. And now if I do this, if I do this right there, oops, here that's gonna be this that render item, because if not, that's gonna be the placeholder always. So I think go slow because I have my debugger. I'm gonna stop the debugger. So like I told you, in the next episode, we're gonna see the fragment. So it's gonna be a good one. And now you see, magical, we get the tweet. So think about that, it's almost the same thing here, but we just reuse what we have in the other one. And now you can still like from here. And if you like here, you have like here. If I dislike here, you have dislike here. If you have like here, you have like here. So you see, so now you can get this value. So I mean, that's gonna be one of your homework, because we're gonna do this. I'm gonna show you the result in the next episode. I want you to receive this number here from the GraphQL, and I want you to show the real value. So that's gonna be your homework for the next one. So I hope you enjoy. Sorry for the time being some video. It just I get so many stuff like a wedding and everything between like the other video, etc. So hope you enjoy, and we're gonna talk later. Have a good night, everyone. Bye.